So the ICC Prosecutor Karim Khan has actually applied for arrest warrant for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defence Minister Yoav Gallant for bearing criminal responsibility in the Gaza war. Now, I'm reading comments from the review show that I did with regards to the death of Iran's president, President Rais Ibrahim. And my theory still stands about America's CIA or Israel's Mossad being part of the working behind the scenes basically towards the assassination or the death of President Rais. Some of you in the comments section are very interesting because many of you in the comments section actually have bought the theory of the bad weather story and you actually stand by it. If you want to believe the bad weather story, then you can stay in that cocoon. But from where I stand, I actually want to tell you, you need to think and see things as they happen behind the scenes. Don't just see things from, like an aerial perspective. See things as they would be and learn to connect dots from A, B, C, all the way to Z. Like interconnect things, then you will understand why things happen. And because several people believe that the bad weather theory works, then here is my today's weather forecast on the Netanyahu ICC arrest warrant that was issued to arrest him for the crimes against humanity that have been committed in Palestine. So here we go. By the end of it, you will tell me whether my weather forecast works or your weather forecast stands. Cool. So the ICC Prosecutor Karim Khan has actually applied for arrest warrant for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defence Minister Yoav Gallant for bearing criminal responsibility in the Gaza war. Basically, crimes against humanity, and by now you ought to know that these crimes have been going on in Palestine since the war began in October. He also asked ICC judges to issue warrant arrests on leaders of the Palestinian militant group, the Hamas, which is also perpetrating human suffering in the conflict. ICC basically, which is the International Criminal Court, has 124 member states, and these members are obligated to immediately arrest the wanted person if they are on their territory or on their land. Israel and its ally, which is mainly the US, are not members of the ICC. And so is China and Russia. They are not members. I'll tie this to you. I'll tell you why it's important for you to know that Russia and China are not also members, because there's a relation as to why I'm putting it on this arrest of Netanyahu. So from the reaction of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is that
the outrageous decision by the ICC Prosecutor, Karim Khan, to seek arrest warrants against the democratically elected leaders of Israel is a moral outrage of historic proportions.
On the other hand, the key ally to Israel, who are the United States, had their president, who is President Joe Biden, called the arrest warrant as outrageous, while the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, said it could jeopardize negotiations on a hostage deal and a ceasefire. President Biden further added there was no equivalence, none, between Israel and Hamas. From this whole take, you remember the whole of humanity and basically the world has been calling out Israel for the crimes they've been committing, which is basically genocide that has been going on in Palestine. They've killed so many people, they've killed children, all this just trying to fight for space in Palestine. So it's very disgusting when a president of a first world, that is President Biden, and the Israel Prime Minister do not see that what they're committing is genocide and it's unfair to the people of Palestine and basically to humanity. How everyone else sees it as genocide while the two do not see it as genocide makes you question, how blind can these two people get? Up until now, we still call out for the free Palestine until they are set free, because every human being on earth deserves to live like a human without limitations by someone else feeling that they are superior to them. Remember in 2023, now we're back to why I mentioned China and Russia at the beginning. Remember in 2023, the ICC issued a warrant of arrest for the Russian president, President Vladimir Putin, and some of his senior officials, which was for perpetrating basically forcible transfer of people and war crimes in Ukraine when they invaded Ukraine in 2022. Of course, this war is still ongoing. The warrant was never implemented, but what we remember from that story is that USA actually supported the decision for the arrest of Putin. But the same USA at this point is against the arrest of Netanyahu, begging the question, do you mean there are human beings who deserve to die while others deserve to live because simply someone is your ally? At what point then do we come to agree that some human beings deserve justice while the rest of, like people in Palestine do not deserve justice? That's the worst kind of pretense that a nation that claims to be, like a world of the free can pretend to have. However, the warrant was never implemented. One time when people thought actually that Putin would be arrested was in 2023 when the BRICS meeting was happening in South Africa, because everyone was watching to see if he will be visiting South Africa, because if he attended, then maybe South Africa would have arrested him, because South Africa remains a member of ICC. But then Putin didn't attend the meeting. So these are some of the things that happen when you issue arrests, because someone has to look for a way of escaping arrests if they don't believe in what maybe is being pushed for. I'm not for Putin not being arrested, but then if Putin warranted an arrest, then so does the Prime Minister of Israel. He also deserves to be arrested, because no human has a right to live while others do not. That's how I look at it and how I feel. Now, US being a non-member was cheering and issued when the warrant was given, but its politicians have been warning the prosecutor recently, as when the arrest was issued for Israel, that Israel and Americans seeing it as a violation of local jurisdictions. At what point then do we look at things as local jurisdictions and respect that? Then in other situations, then we close our eyes, like bird watch when others are being arrested and cheer, but when it's our turn, we say, no, we don't support that, it's not within our jurisdiction. Cut the world some slack. If we are to arrest Netanyahu, then so be it, because the crimes against humanity in Palestine deserve to come to an end by all means. So so far, before I come to my conclusion, is that I believe justice should be equal irrespective of the nation involved. And worse still, for a nation that claims it's a land of the free, really now, America, the land of the free now, does not want the leader who's committing crimes against humanity arrested? That's pretty wanting for such a nation. And remember, in Gaza, more than 32,000 people have actually died so far, and students in the United States in different universities have been demonstrating, pushing for the Free Palestine movement. Begs the question, if students in the United States university can see what is happening is genocide, how blind is their president and the leadership of the US that they don't see it as, genocide? Begs the question. Really, really disgusting by all means. Anyway, if you're still looking for proof to see the involvement of the different nations in perpetrating crimes against humanity, then I think you need to rethink and rethink again. And in conclusion, I'll say, pay attention to everything, guys. Every little detail you see in the world, pay attention to it, and you'll almost understand why things happen and how they happen in the world. Remember to subscribe, watch, share, and like our content with your networks, and you're always welcome to share your views on the comment section. For this particular one, just tell us, what are your thoughts on the issue of arrest towards Netanyahu, and if indeed you feel he should be arrested? And what is your take on this whole thing that is happening in the world, especially America supporting that Netanyahu should not be arrested? Share with us in the comments section, and let's keep talking. Thanks for watching.